Welcome to the Red River Valley of North Dakota. A land flowing with milk and honey. You're watching Beet Farmin Mitch. Man, what a beautiful day. Working on the last 20 acres of this year's hard red spring wheat crop. Got 20 acres to go, and we're gonna be switching to soybeans. It has been a good run. Lots of wheat starting to come up. It looks pretty cool around the countryside. You got the nice green carpet of fields going on. It feels like the month of May. Things are good. And my wife Jenny and I, we even got our garden in, so that's exciting. I'm Beet Farmin Mitch. I'm a 6th generation family farmer, and this is a lot of wheat crops for us. Man, this has got to be like our 140 some wheat crop. So the farm first started in 1880, so I'm thinking 144th wheat crop. They've only been around for 26 of them. What a beautiful day. Oh man, not a cloud in the sky. Just it's not super windy out. Old Glory is flying, but it ain't a raging wind out there. This is nice. So you can see there's kind of a crust on this one. So we actually already worked this one and prepared it for sugar beets. This was kind of our last sugar beet field because you can't plant too many sugar beets. You can only plant what you own or rent in shares for American Crystal Sugar Company. So you can't just finish a field if you want. You have to do it by the acre. So we're patching the rest of this field with wheat. So we got mostly sugar beets over there and patching this last bit in with wheat. It got rain on it after we worked it, and this is really good going here. Just planting right into that. It looks really nice. So this is the wheat I've seeded. You can see where it there's that line, it turns a little more gray. That is sugar beets, and then past it is kind of a green line. That is sugar beets with barley cover crop. Now we wanted the barley cover crop not to be anywhere near the wheat because you don't want cross-contamination. So that's over there. What that does is that will grow up first, and then the sugar beets will grow up behind it, and it'll protect the sugar beets from any wind damage and things like that. Looks like we got one round left of planting this year's wheat crop. Hopefully we don't have to replant anything. I know there's a couple spots we're gonna go spread some seed with whatever we have left, which isn't gonna be much, and let things grow. Ah, looks like we lost a press wheel on our last round. Got a spare. All right, where'd you come from? The back row? I like when it's in the back row because those are always easier to fix. It's not looking like it. There he is. You want a souvenir? Might be worth 1/10 of a penny in scrap iron. So yeah, you can see the bearing just went out. Normally that's in there and it's got like ball bearings around it. We'll get a new bearing in that and have some spares. I always usually carry about 3 or 4 in the tractor. Wheat 2024. It's in the ground. switched over from wheat to soybeans, ready to rock. Things are going good. So we got it drain tiled last fall, so you can kind of see the tile lines there. And so I'm actually planting at a slight angle because I don't want to sink into the tile lines too much. Kind of a downside of having these tracks is they're so narrow that if I were to be right on a tile line, it would sink down into the line, and I don't want to do that. So planting at a 7-degree angle, and every once in a while I'll kind of slip through, but the tracks are wide enough to where it's not bothering. Yeah, you can see it's a little soft there. I sunk down a little bit on that track and a little bit on that track now, but we walked over it pretty good. Having that little bit of an angle, you can kind of crawl over the trench a little bit. So where you can see this moisture here, that is over the tile line. Straight there, that's the tile line. That's where we're planted. Probably gonna sink down fairly deep here, so hopefully we're not overdoing it. Oh, there, missed them. I like to catch them when they're still stuck exactly where they are. I moved that one a little bit, but I see another one right behind it. Oh, that looks like about an inch. So if we're an inch on that this really soft stuff, I'm shooting for kind of an inch to inch and a half, probably closer to inch and a quarter, because after this we're gonna harrow pack it, and I just don't want to sink them down too deep. We got good moisture here. Want to make sure we do it right. And the leaves are finally turning green on the trees. Man, this has been a really nice spring so far. Can't complain. So there's the soybean seed. So that's classified as a medium-sized soybean. I remember my brother planted some soybeans a couple years ago and the seeds were massive. And then I've planted some that are smaller. But they all seem to turn out pretty good. And every once in a while I like to take a quick pit stop, inspect everything. So this is the air cart. It is a 3-tank cart, so there's separate compartments, 1, 2, and 3. I've just got soybeans in the first one because we've only have 1 meter roller. Then there's the little fan spinning on there, and that'll blow air and the seed through all these little tubes and come out into each row unit. That closes the row. So this is a 40-foot air seeder, 7.5-inch spacing. So that means 64 rows. And now it's time for Price That Egg part. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got part number 874580502 here. This is an optical sensor for the air seeder. One of these goes on each row, and it's got little optical eyes there that sense the flow. So if you plug it, this thing will tell you if it's working. So, I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. How much do you think this egg part costs? This is Price That Egg part. Alright, you got your answer in? The correct answer is $192. So you burn through about 5 of those in a year, that adds up. And who do we have here? Looks like we got some passengers coming out. Wait a minute, did you say passengers? Whoa! My beautiful wife. And an extra passenger, that's right, Jenny and I are expecting a little sugar beet.
He didn't come in time for before planting season, but he'll help with harvest.
Yes, he'll be our last crop to emerge. Due in June 7th with a baby boy. All right, you're driving. Well, you know the drill, make yourself at home. And you even brought some food so you can come for a ride. That's the rule.
Even if it's not homemade.
Even if it's not, even if it's just Subway. I have the best wife ever. Got a tiny little deer way over in the corner. Gotta love seeing wildlife out here. So speaking of wildlife, this is a rare breed over here. This is a creature you don't see that often.
Fun fact, I'm a twin.
And we're having twins.
No, but we could.
We could, yeah. The chances are there.
It does run in the family. So Mitch, this is your favorite time of the year?
This is kind of, I mean, I enjoy every season a little bit. They're each their own unique things. But I like this time because everything's fresh, everything's growing, you know, plants are sprouting, things are green. It feels good to be outside again. Kind of like a new life, new vigor, you know.
What percentage would you say you guys are done with planting?
65% done with every crop.
And you're about 95% done with this crop.
No, I'm just starting this crop.
This crop?
Oh, that crop. Yeah, yes, that crop.
Less than 4 weeks.
Less than 4 weeks to go. Maybe less for all we know.
Maybe even less. Maybe more.
Maybe more. Yeah.
You just don't hang out.
Right. We're going for the longer maturity date.
What's the most exciting part about planting season?
Watching plants come up. It's fun to know, like, oh, I planted that, and like to see it come up. And then sometimes you see your mistakes. Hopefully you don't see those. I made a couple. This year I had a piece of plastic break off on the air seeder, and it like halfway plugged 2 rows, but it didn't go off my sensor. So it was like just, it was going, and I checked, you know, things out very often. But that kind of bothered me. But I fixed it now at least, so. That's what you gotta do. You make a mistake, you fix it, you move forward, because we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
No farmer is perfect.
That's true. Well, he might be.
He might be.
He's gonna be 7th generation of farming wisdom, so he might be getting there.
Well, if he chooses to.
Yeah, if he chooses
I think
to.
he might.
Lord willing.
Lord willing.
Alright, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to.
Okay. Isn't that a fun sound? Yeah.
Satisfying. This is Beet Farmin Jenny.
And Beet Farmin Mitch.
And don't forget
To keep it sweet. And Beet Farmin Baby.